Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today some major announcements have dropped regarding the future of Star Trek Online. In this video, I'll be giving you a quick breakdown on everything, followed by a discussion with Star Trek Online's executive producer, Thomas Marrone, and community manager, Mike Fatum, to chat about all of it. As always, chapters to each section are listed down below. First up is the Quick Start event that is going live today, April 21st, and running through May 21st on all platforms. During this event, everyone, even those currently at the character cap, can freely create a brand new tactical Jem'Hadar Vanguard character. These characters are pre-equipped with endgame gear and have a streamlined tutorial. New players can utilize this to jump right in to see what STO has to offer, and returning players can take advantage of this to jump back in without needing to adjust their existing characters. The free character from this event is a one-time claim per account, and for veteran players, you do retain the bonus character slot if you later decide to delete the character. Alongside this is a rerun of the Gamma recruitment event, which this character can take advantage of to unlock some nice rewards for your entire account. The interview later in the video will cover this a bit more, but here's what CEO Jack Emmert mentioned for this event. Quote, "When I returned to Cryptic, the first initiative I wanted to kick off right away for our games was this Quick Start event. One of our key initiatives this year and beyond is to make our epic worlds even more accessible and welcoming to every type of player, whether you're a new player who's just starting your adventure or a longtime veteran who's played our games since launch. By offering a fully equipped high-level character that players can keep forever, we're removing long-standing barriers and giving returning veterans, curious newcomers, and time-strapped fans a direct path to the heart of our games. At the end of the day, we want players to experience the pinnacle of what our MMOs offer without feeling like they have to climb a mountain to get there." End quote. So this is a pretty nice initiative. The Vanguard race specifically for the Jem'Hadar, that typically would cost you at a minimum $5. It's also in a variety of the Gamma related packs. So getting that for free here is pretty nice. And the overall initiative that they're doing for STO, and this is also applying to Neverwinter and Champions, it looks like. I think this is a really good concept for them, and I hope all of you listening take advantage of this and make your free character and tell everyone you know to log in and do the same. And the other big batch of news is the 2026 roadmap. So starting in April here, we've got the Quick Start event, which I just covered, along with the associated Gamma recruitment event. The First Contact Day event is over halfway through as of me recording this, and then we've got the Gral class, which had already dropped on PC, but I guess it's also going to drop on console soon. Then on PC, I assume this is going to happen today. We're going to see the Gral and Orchid starship, so that is going to be an R&D promo box ship. I don't know the stats of this, but if that's a ship you've been looking for, I'll have a stats breakdown out for it within a day or so of the ship dropping. Now heading over to May, we've got a TFO event here. This is the next part of the event campaign for PC. This is going to be a Tholian-themed one, Crystalline Chaos. And this features the new 5-player version of Crystalline Catastrophe. So I was able to experience the Elite version of this on stream a week or so back on PC. And the Elite version, it was clear it was still being worked on. It had basically the same HP as the advanced version. But they have went in and, slimmed things down to 5 players. They've redone some of the animations, some of the stuff in the map. So I look forward to seeing what the finalized remastered version of that queue is, because having that back down to 5 players means long term it should be back in the random queue rotation as well. So really looking forward to that. Now below that there is an Infinity Lockbox contents update. I don't know if this is just putting the partners in crime stuff in the Infinity Lockbox or if they're going to go a bit further. Jeremy's popped into a couple of my streams in the past couple of months, and we've talked about some of the Infinity Lockbox issues, like the DOF packs and there not being in a choice pack. So I don't know if this is, again, just adding partners in crime stuff like the Breen Shield tunneling trait into the Infinity Lockbox, or if this is going to be something a bit more in depth. We'll find out more as we get closer to May. And then we have the Damocles, which is going to be an Infinity Lockbox ship. So as you're going to hear from Thomas later on in this video, that is a ship that is going to go on the Crossfield skeleton, from what I recall. And then over on console, in May, you're going to be getting the next part of the event campaign, the Good Day to Die event, and also Klingon recruitment. Now, heading over to June, we have the summer event, which is going to have the GOM2 starship from TNG as the grand prize. So this is what that looks like. No idea on the stats of it, but let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. There will also be some new Vandy items. There will be Delta recruitment for all platforms. Then there are some Fleet Store updates and Phoenix Prize Pack updates. So I think we might see them shuffle some things around from like Muds over to Phoenix again, like we've seen them do before. And for the Fleet Store updates, I'm curious to see what they do here. There's been a lot of discussion of various things, and something that did keep popping up when I talked to Thomas and Thomas had talked to a couple others was potentially giving us alternate versions of existing ships, just, with different bridge officer seating combinations, things like that. So I'm really curious to see what the Fleet Store update ends up bringing. And then for console, you guys are going to be getting the Gral Orchid in R&D promo in June, and also the third part of the event campaign, the Tholian Trouble event. Heading over to July, there's a new Infinity Lockbox ship. It is a Klingon ship from TNG and Lower Decks. I believe this is going to be the Cavort, which has popped up in some prior interviews. Then for PC, we're getting the next season, season 36, in July. So that'll be the next story mission, TFO, and potentially some other content. And there's also a brand new Zen Store ship bundle, the Kelvin Timeline Starship bundle, that'll be going live in July. I don't know what specific ships are in there, but Thomas, as you're going to hear later on, says that these are ships that people have been asking for. Heading over to August, there is another part of the event campaign for PC. But then there is another R&D promo box ship there, a Romulan ship from the Kelvin timeline. So I am really hoping this is the big Narada ship from the first Kelvin Star Trek movie. I want that. Just take my money. And then for console, in August, you guys will get the Season 36 content update and that Kelvin Timeline Starship bundle in the Zen store. And then in September, there's the Star Trek Day event, another part of the event campaign for all platforms. There's going to be an alien starship from TNG in the Infinity Lockbox. For PC, there's going to be the Season 37 content update, a Federation starship in the Infinity Lockbox, and then over on console, that Romulan Kelvin Timeline ship in the R&D promo box. I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on the roadmap, but just having this overview of what to expect over the next couple months is certainly going to be very, very helpful for many people. Now, heading over to the interview, this was recorded back on March 26th, 2 days after the 16th bundle dropped on PC. I did trim out a few parts that are no longer relevant, such as the Beetle and Grim Kickstarter, which I covered previously in some news videos. And I do want to note that I was not at my best that day. Not that I'm necessarily at my best right now as I'm breaking the fever on whatever bug I've currently been dealing with. But that week I was just having quite a few issues with not getting enough sleep. And between that and my nephew just having a random fit about halfway through the interview, which thankfully you guys can't hear, it just was not me at my peak. But I hope you enjoy, and as you are about to hear, yes, I call the Orion Orchid the Orion Orchio because I can't read. I guess that's just how I was that day. So enjoy. Well, Mike, Thomas, thank you both for taking the time to come on and chat. We've got a lot of huge updates to go over today, and I know many of the people listening are already very familiar with both of you, but can you both take a moment just to introduce yourselves and how long you've been working on Stowe?
Why don't you start, Mike?
Sure. My name's Mikey Fatum. I am the community manager here at Star Trek Online, and I had an 8-year stint and then 2 years off, and now I'm back. So I guess this is my 9th year working on Star Trek Online.
I'm really excited to have Mike back.
I'm really excited to be back.
Yeah. It's it's a joy to work with Mike, and I as far as me, I am Thomas Marrone. I'm the executive producer of Star Trek Online. I guess that means that I am the idea guy finally after 16 years of game, working in game development and a 20-year career overall, I can just tell other people what to do.
Oh,
It does not
driving him
work like
crazy.
that, by
He's
the
rattling the
way.
bars of his cage.
Does not actually work like that. But no, I mean, it is a different role for me, right? From being art direct, like ship artist, UI artist, ship artist, art director to EP. Each of those roles is a very different scope of what they're concerned about. For EP, it really is a holistic view of the game. So it's looking at, before as art director, I was really concerned about the art and how does the art feed into the gameplay and how does it represent the quality of the game. How does it respect, the Star Trek IP? As executive producer, it's a step back from that strategically to not just art, but is the content we're making going to be interesting? Are the things that we're selling going to be relevant to people and appealing? Is the cadence? Are we going to be able to hit a certain release cadence? We need to meet all of our internal expectations, right? So it's a much more, I would say, strategic role where you're thinking, you are sort of thinking big picture. But about everything, not just about but about art like I was before.
You miss playing with the ships yet?
I mean, well, one of the great things about being executive producer is that I can still sort of stick my nose in places where I want to. So I mean, and that's something that I do feel passionate about it, but what's awesome about where we're at right now is I've got a great art lead with Phil Dunn, and I've got a great ship team with Marrone and Keen, and those guys, they're super quick learners. They really, Keen goes by Pundits online. He's a big name in the SO community already, and he. He picked up the back end system so quickly about how the ships are built and everything that it was really it's been really easy for me to just trust those guys that they're still going to make cool stuff. I get into it because I like it and I want to see what they're doing, but I don't have I can also trust them when I need to delegate.
Gotcha. Now, for Mike, your return is pretty recent, and as community manager, you're the face of the game for a lot of people. When it comes to engagement between the player base and the dev team. In the past year or so, with the transition to Deca, we saw the shift over to Discord. We saw the build streams with content creators, a bit more engagement in some different ways. And with Sunna's recent departure, I think a lot of people are wondering, how do you plan to continue that and perhaps build upon that?
Yeah. So the content creator build streams, the first time Sunna did one of those, I literally messaged her on Discord and was like, I am so jealous. I wish I'd thought of that because it's such an obvious idea. And, so that's obviously continuing. As of when this will air, I think you should have already seen one at least, and with more coming up. And I also want to try and build, with other content creators as well. There's stuff in Star Trek Online that isn't just ship builds, and so I don't know exactly what form that will take as of this exact moment. But I always want to get more people on the streams. I always want to get the developers you don't typically see to talk about their jobs, and the move to Discord was fascinating to me because that was something I was really pushing for before I left, and so I was really glad that Deca and Sunna got the chance to do that, because it just, for me anyway, it's a easier way to get feedback. It's a more casual, relaxed kind of space to hang out with the fans. And so I know some people miss the structure of the forums, and we still have that in kind of the bug report section and stuff. But I just really feel more at ease on Discord, and I hope other people do as well.
Yeah. Now, back on the staffing side, in the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of older Cryptic devs that unfortunately, stepped away during the transition, and we've seen a lot of new devs come in, but I'm curious, we know Jeremy's still there, we know Jack is there. How many older Cryptic people are still working on Stowe? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, I'm pretty old. Sorry. Sorry, go ahead, Thomas. Oh, you're muted, Thomas.
Yeah, sorry, my dog was barking for a second, so I had to mute. Thank you. Yeah, we're all pretty old. But yeah, so we've got Jeremy and I, Weston, our animator, Ian, our character art lead, Andrew, our effects artist, and that's it on Stowe. So I think that's like 5 people. Um, and then there are some other people scattered throughout the company. There are a couple people on Neverwinter still. There are some like infrastructure programmers who are on Gimme and Live Ops and stuff like that. So all told, I'd say that uh, we're it's a small crew, but I think there's a big hope that if the year is good to us, that we'll be able to. I would love to get more of those people back. Frankly, I'd love to be able to work with some of those people again. All of them, not just some of them.
You know
But
who you are.
but that said, we're also committed to. Um, the people who've been working on the game, who are working on the game right now, they've been doing it for a couple of years at this point. All of them are passionate about it. They've really grown to love the game and love Star Trek and everything. So we've got a good crew. I want to make it bigger. And I would love to work with some of our past shipmates, if I can keep going with that metaphor. But we also have a lot to look forward to with the team we've got right now too.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, with a lot of us coming back, there's a lot of that, like, oh, the old Cryptic is coming back. Like, that's exciting. But, like, the people who have been here, while those of us who are, quote unquote, the old Cryptic have been gone, have been absolutely knocking it out of the park, just killing it on every level, firing on all cylinders. So I'm really excited for what the fusion of those two teams will bring about.
Yeah, and I'm gonna shortly transition over to the roadmap part, but when I saw this just a couple hours ago, it was nice to see that it looks like the release cadence is getting back up to a point not that far off where Cryptic was, like before the transition. Um, so it looks like the new folks that have come in have learned quite a bit here in the past 2 years. Now,
Yeah, and sorry, I mean, I don't know if you want me to say anything about
no,
that,
good.
but yeah. I mean, I think that's exactly what's happened because we have the Cryptic engine and Star Trek Online is a complicated game, and the Cryptic engine is a complicated tool, and it does take years to get to the point where you're like Mikey said, like firing on all cylinders, right? And but I think we're getting there with the people who've joined us in the past couple of years, and they're getting more comfortable, they're getting faster, and and I want to say that I'm really pleased with how the 16th anniversary bundle launch went. Um, I know we had some rocky bits on season 35, but we learned a lot even from just that experience, and we buckled down, and I think we did a great job on the 16th anniversary bundle. And I kind of expect us to keep going in that trajectory.
Yeah, the bundle as of us recording this has been out for about 2 days, but it's been good so far. The response on my end's been good.
Awesome.
Nice to
Now,
hear.
heading over to the roadmap here, one of the very first things is the quick start event. So, who wants to explain what that is bringing?
Yeah, I'll go for that. So the quick start event is something we're doing that is really, Jack's back. We've got some other cryptic people coming back to the company. We're really trying to not just get developers back, but we want to get players back who maybe haven't played, Stowe in a long time. And it's very different, right? Even the past I would say, I think starting in 2018 when we did Victory is Life, and we started to do, the discovery stuff, and going on from there, the quality bar has really just kind of kept elevating. We've done some really complex, cool stories. We've got some great TFOs. We've got some awesome gear from all over the franchise now, and lots of different ways to earn it or buy it. And so our hope is that with all of the sort of renewed interest in Cryptic that's happened because of the recent, it's we've been in the news a lot, right? Like, let's just say it that way. But we wanted to leverage that and say, hey, like, come check out the games again. It's not just Stowe that's doing this. Neverwinter and Champions are doing their own version of this too, but it's really a celebration of like how far we've come, and we want people who haven't played in a while to come back and check it out. And the quickest way to get in the game is the Jem'Hadar, right? Like, they're already level 60. They've already got a ship. They've got bridge officers. They've got weapons. It's all equipped for you already. There's a little tutorial that just kind of gets you primed on the basics if you don't remember. And so what we're doing is, for that quick start promotion, is we're giving away a free Jem'Hadar Vanguard tactical character. So you just come into the game, and there's a big button that says play now, and that basically makes a Jem'Hadar Vanguard character for you. It comes with its own character slot. That character does not count against your existing slots. And if you don't want that character, but you want to keep the slot is permanent. So you can delete that. If you make the character and then delete the character, you'll still have the slot. But we hope you keep it, obviously. But, but ultimately, really, like, all I care about is that people come in and play Stowe again, right? So if that, whatever that means. But the idea here is really to give people a compelling and interesting way um, to get back into Stowe and and have it be accessible in a sense of, well, I don't really remember what all the weapons should be. I don't really remember all my bridge officer powers, and so for that, the Jem'Hadar was really, we were lucky to have it kind of ready to go, but we knew that since it was already something that you can do for free, that giving away a Vanguard made it a little more enticing for people, the Vanguard version of the character, so it comes with the Vanguard trait. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about that. During that event, we will of course run Gamma Recruit again. So any of these new welcome, quick start Jem'Hadars will be Gamma Recruits if you get through the tutorial, and we'll also do some other sales. We're coming up. We've got a new Return to Duty starter pack that will also, it's a really discounted pack that will include the Kobayashi Maru device for a one-time unlock, and a bunch of other, like, a captain upgrade, ship upgrade, buff upgrade, um, some other things that you can buy at once per account because it's such a steep discount, but it should help people get their feet wet with a bunch of different systems that they might not have touched in a while. So they can look out for that too. But ultimately, it really is about reducing the barrier to entry and make it easy for people who haven't touched Stowe in a while to just kind of get in and play. So yeah, that's the idea behind that. But of course, if you have your favorite character and you want to get in and play that too, that's great.
Yeah, I think what's really exciting about it, I mean, the exciting thing for veteran players is probably going to be the free character slot, because those of you with 492 characters out there can now have 493, and I know that's something people have been asking for. But I think it's also just it's a cool thing because it's not only going to hopefully bring a lot of folks back to the game, but it's also going to sort of funnel those folks all into the same location. And STO's community is really, really good at being welcoming to, like, new and returning players, and like helping people catch up and directing them to content creators like you, to, like, be brought up to speed and learn how the game has changed. And so just having them all, like, you go to Deep Space Nine, you're going to see a bunch of Jem'Hadar Vanguards running around, and who you can talk to be like, hey, do you need help? And I think that's going to be a cool, like, first month or two to see how the community takes advantage of that and how they help people out.
The S9's going to need some more servers. Um, one of the things I see here is it's got pre-equipped endgame gear. Is that the standard Vanguard stuff, or is there some additional stuff that you guys have set up for this specific character?
That's the standard Vanguard stuff,
Okay.
which is, I think it's all Mark 12 purples, right? Which should be enough to do,
Get you in.
missions and
Yeah.
and easy TFOs and stuff.
Yeah.
And is this an event you think you'll ever rerun, or is this just like a one-time thing?
I think it could be something we do every year. No promises, right? But like I think it is some. We'll see how it goes, and
Yeah.
if people engage with it and they're excited about it, I think I was glad that Mike said. I think people who have stuck with the game this whole time, um, you know, obviously we love you and we're very grateful for you. And so I was glad Mike mentioned the character slot is specifically like, well, if you don't really care about this new Jem'Hadar character, at least there is something that you can get out of it for free, if that's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for people to remember that the more people that are in Stowe, the better it is for everybody, right?
Yep.
That more people in an MMO means that the game's doing well, healthier, we can invest more into it. So even if a specific promotion isn't targeted at you, um, it is important for us to bring those kinds of people into the game to grow that audience so that we can get more people to enjoy the game and do more things for y'all.
Yeah. And also, there's a new Star Trek audience being built every day, whether it's you know, parents teaching their kids about Trek, or, people who might have come in and really enjoyed like Starfleet Academy or Strange New Worlds. And letting them know that this, celebration of 60 years of Star Trek exists and they can go play in, whatever world they want is also really important. I think this will help a lot with that.
Mhm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Another big thing that we're getting in April, it looks like, is the first Contact Day event, and it looks like this one is extended, and the prize here is the Noble class battle cruiser.
Hmm. Do you want
Do,
to do you
do
want to guess what that means?
Isn't that one of the older Stowe ships? I'm gonna look like an idiot when this goes live.
It is.
It is.
Keep
It
going.
is.
It's a really specific
Is it like the one
older
that was
starship.
like on the original launch art?
Yeah. Well, the original Game Informer cover.
Yeah.
So go Google that and then think about what that means if it's a battle cruiser.
Okay, you got me looking.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm keeping my mouth shut. I want to get the surprise.
Right.
Tried to find it. Images. Oh, Sovereign.
Hmm.
And it's a battle cruiser.
Hmm. We're
So-
finally doing it.
I am very happy to see that, and I know a lot of other people will also, because the Sovereign, that is a ship people just absolutely love, and they haven't been too happy with the existing versions in the game. So I'm looking forward to this, especially as a free event reward. You're gonna have a lot of
Right.
people going crazy about that.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I think this video will probably come out like a week after
Yeah.
that event goes live. But
Surprise, everybody!
yeah, but in that case, I feel like I can just show you if you want to see it. I think I can show you a
Does he
picture of
want to
it.
see it?
Spencer doesn't care about art.
I do. It's just I like the spamming the space bar,
You like the
Yeah.
pew
doing the
pews.
deeps. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find a picture of it. But no, I guess let's talk about it a little bit because it is something. It was actually one of the first things that I decided when I knew that I was going to be EP. I was like, all right, we're going to do, and I'll just say it now. Well, I'll say it now because everybody knows at this point. We're doing a 5-3 sovereign, and we're going to do it for First Contact Day. And I was on a call with
5-3
Jeremy,
sovereign for free.
right? Yep. Because I wanted to. I mean, I wanted to, well, it's the 60th anniversary of Star Trek, and I wanted to celebrate that. And that's, we're kind of specifically calling this 60th anniversary First Contact Day to kind of set it apart a little bit from the regular First Contact Day event, because we're not going to do a ship every year for First Contact Day going forward. But for this one, we wanted it to do it. We wanted it to be special, and I knew and First Contact Day, is really about like TNG and that film, right? First Contact, obviously. And so this seemed like just such a perfect opportunity to give people that the thing that I knew they've been asking for such a long time, and do it in a way that hopefully people appreciate. Like you said, it's a free event ship, and so everybody can earn it, just by playing the game. And every now and then, I feel like those should be like this. They should be celebrations of things that people are excited about, and that things they really want. Like, I love all the weird stuff. Like, we have another thing on the roadmap later that we kind of announced with the roadmap. We're going to do GOM2, for the summer event this year. Kind of shades of the Nigerian Defender, right? I love doing weird stuff like that for events, but at the same time, you know, that scratches a certain itch. But you also want to give people, it's a Star Trek game. They should be able to fly the Enterprise, right? And so,
And they should want
so
to
yeah,
fly the Enterprise.
Yes.
right, exactly.
Now that is. Now that I've seen that, that is, yeah. People are going to be going crazy next month, or by the time this is up, yeah, people are going to be going nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see reactions when that gets announced.
And
Here, I'll go ahead and put
good.
a little preview picture in there for you.
Oh boy, beautiful.
So, and one thing, again, it'll be common knowledge by the time this goes live, but we are, Noble is an existing variant of the Sovereign. So what we're doing with this is we're remastering that like we have in the past, and then and that'll be a free remaster for everybody, for the Sovereign. And then the roll bar variant that we're calling that the Noble refit variant, that'll be locked behind the event. So you have to get that version of the skin by playing the event. But if you have another version of the Sovereign, you can use the remastered Noble. So that's how we're handling all that. But I'm really excited for people to learn about this and to get the ship in the event. It looks really cool.
It does.
Really
It
pleased
does.
with how it came out.
Yeah, that I need it.
You didn't admit it?
I need
Uh,
Awesome.
And it
yeah.
looks like there's 2 other ships dropping in April alongside the 16th bundle over on console. You've got the Gral class from Strange New Worlds and the Orion. I butcher names. Orchio.
Orchid.
Orchid. It looked
That's a
like an
D.
O.
Sorry, the font. No, it's just a Orchid. Yeah, and so this is kind of we talked about, right, the fact that we're going chronologically through the eras of Star Trek and doing ships from each era. So the Grawl class is sort of our we've done Enterprise with the bundle. So now we're moving forward to Strange New Worlds, Discovery, TOS era, and so we've got the Grawl class, which is the USS Archer from the first episode of Strange New Worlds. And then I won't really say too much about the stats of these ships.
Yeah.
We'll wait for the blog of that blog and everything. But then after that, in April, we'll have the Orchid class, which is a Orion ship that originally showed up in the animated series, and then was also shown in Lower Decks. And that one, the translation we've done for that one is super cool. I think people are going to really dig it, because with the Lower Deck ships, we always kind of add detail, refine the design a little bit, and this one, I think they did a great job turning it into something super cool and aggressive, and realistic, but still keeping the essence of the original art.
And with them being that Grawl is Infinity Lockbox and the Orion is R&D. I gotta ask. People are gonna ask. Has there been any movement on giving us a way to make these things account-wide unlock?
It is something that kind of thing is something that we are talking about. There's no movement, I would say, but it is, it has come up. especially since Jack came back. Those kinds of things at a very high level are all things that are like that get discussed and get mentioned, and I don't know if it'll go anywhere, um, but it is definitely something that we know people want it, obviously. But I think I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah.
Okay, now in May, I see we've got a fully in trouble event, and the really exciting thing at the top here is that looks like you guys have changed Crystalline Catastrophe to now be a 5-player TFO.
Yeah, that one. It's very it's pretty similar to the original. We will be adding, we're cleaning it up. We're adding some more mini contacts to make it more easier to understand. We're updating some VFX, and then it'll be one of the TFOs that you can play for the event credit for the Fully in Trouble. Yeah, we've done some play testing with this. It's really fun, and I think it'll be a lot more intuitive for new players who haven't played this. But it's an epic TFO with a giant like boss monster. So I'm excited to get it back in the rotation.
Yeah,
Mike, was there anything you wanted to say?
I was just gonna say, try not to kill the thing in 10 seconds this time, guys.
Right.
Stretch it out a little bit. If you could give him
Yeah.
a little more time. I know it's hard.
is there an elite version of this
I
new
believe that
revised one?
right. I believe there will be once the event's over. I, I
Awesome.
think I think that's the plan, but you don't quote me on that. But usually that's what we try to do. So I'll make sure, and I'll check with Jeremy on that.
That's been one of the reasons we are, taking out the entity in like 10 seconds is because normal and advanced only.
Fair.
Now I see here also Infinity Lockbox Contents Update. That looks exciting.
Yeah, that is. I can't talk too much about this, but I think um, there are a lot of things that are in a lot of different places in the game where they've been in those places for a long time, and are they doing well in those places? Would they maybe be better in different places? Stale things that nobody's really engaging with anymore. So sometimes it's good to shake those kinds of things, to shake things up, move things around, and I think that's all I want to say about that, because it's an opportunity to try new things about how people get access to some of the gear that like maybe it's not like maybe it doesn't feel like it's worth that amount of low buy or that amount of um dilithium or whatever, and so you could swap some stuff around, and so that's kind of the idea there. But Jeremy's got that on his plate, so we'll learn
Basically, we
more
don't
as we
have a
get
lot of
closer.
details about it right now, but it sounds
Gotcha.
super exciting from what we've talked
Yeah,
about.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing some comments from Jeremy in a stream chat about it.
Mhm.
I don't think
Mhm.
this was ever brought up, but this is not necessarily on like what's in the box, but the UI of it. Has there ever been any consideration to giving us a search bar like in the trait boxes, like weapon packs? Because that was always a bit of a pain with some of those.
Right. Yeah. So that is something I really want to get to make better. Basically, I want what I want is to make a whole new UI
Yeah.
for the Infinity
Yeah.
Lockbox that is bespoke and basically and makes it really easy to investigate what the different options are, or even have like categories or a search, like you said. So it is something I have as kind of a blue sky goal for this year. And there are other UI improvements that I want us to look into. So I do hope we can do something like that. It wouldn't happen by May, by any chance, but it is. I do want people to know that that is something that is important to me. That we improve that experience because it's not great, and especially for something that people engage with so much, it should be a lot better.
Yeah.
Then we've got Delta Recruitment and the Damocles class from Strange New Worlds. I don't remember which one that is.
Uh, that is the false flag crossfield. Um, that
Oh,
is the ship that the Klingons built to, like, pretending to be a Federation starship. Um, in that,
Mhm.
what is that episode? it was a season. I think it was a season 2 episode. But yeah,
The
yeah. Go ahead,
Broken
Mike.
Circle is the episode.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
was
right.
just looking it up.
Yeah. And that one's kind of cool because we're actually doing it on the crossfield skeleton. So if somebody looks it up, they'll notice it's got a crossfield saucer, but then a very different like hull, and then Strange New World Constitution nacelles.
Gotcha.
And Keen Punis was able to retrofit all that onto our crossfield skeleton, which means that all of that customizes. So if you do get the Damocles, you'll be able to put like traditional Strange New World style nacelles on a crossfield,
Crossfield?
which is which is really cool. But you can also mix up, and there are a lot of different variants and stuff that Keen put together. So I actually think people will be excited when they see all the customization options that ship's going to have. It's a lot more than a normal lockbox ship.
Good. Good.
Very neat.
Actually, just realized too the Gral that we're getting in April here. That is single nacelle. You know, you're gonna have people asking for that. What was it? The Freedom from Wolf 359 again.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I've been thinking a lot about where we could, put that out, but we'll see.
In June, we've got the summer event with the GOM2 ship you mentioned before. There's some new Vandy items, which too early to go into that. But there's also Fleet Store updates and a Phoenix Prize Pack update. Is there anything you can say on those?
I think the thing that I will say is that we want people to engage with both those things more, right? We want people to get back into the fleet system, to donate their dilithium to the fleet system, right? There are actually a lot of dilithium sinks in the fleet system, but a lot of people aren't engaging with them because I mean, I can't blame them for thinking this, but it's a dead end system, right? It doesn't feel like there's any reason to invest in upgrading your holdings or provisioning or any of that, right? And
Especially once you've got all the rewards you wanted out of it.
Yeah.
right, yeah. And so, well, I don't think I can say pretty definitively we have no plans of doing like a brand new holding this year, but what I want to do is I want to give like Mikey just said, like more rewards, more cool things, so that there is not, there is a reason to re-engage with it. And then same thing for the Phoenix Prize Pack, where we want to put more things in there so people are looking through it and excited about what's inside and engaging with it more. So that's the baseline of what we're doing. We have a couple really cool ideas that it's too early to share about what that means, but I think that people should be if you're not in a fleet now, I'd recommend you get into a fleet. And if you're in a small fleet, I recommend you find an armada and get ready for those updates, so that when we drop that stuff, that it's stuff that's accessible to you. And I think it's awesome that we have an armada system, that we have a way for fleets to kind of band together. And I know you've given me notes on that, Spencer, about ways it can be even better. But yeah, I think my hope is that the stuff that we add to the fleet system is compelling and makes people want to buy things from that store and engage with it more in the future. So I kind of want to breathe some life back into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the Armada stuff was like just expanding how many fleets could be in the Armada. That'd be really helpful for the smaller fleets. But moving on to July, it looks like we've got season 36 there, which as we get further out, there's less you can say about this stuff, I understand. A Klingon starship, which I think that popped up in our chat last time. The Cavort, was it? Or is this a different one?
It might be. It might be.
I gotcha. And the Kelvin Timeline Starship bundle. The new Zen Store
Yep.
bundle.
Yeah, that's a Zen store. That's our big summer Zen bundle, and I think that's as specific as we want to get. But it's ships that people have been asking for a long time.
And I see also alongside that in August, there's another Kelvin Timeline ship that's going to be R&D promo. And then September, season 37 content update. So, I mean, that's 2 seasons back to back pretty close. which is good to see. Like I was saying before, that seems like a similar cadence to what we saw from Cryptic, before everything went down.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think ideally, next year we'll have our kind of mid-year update will be a bit earlier. Um, we right now we've got the season 36 in July. Ideally, it would be in like late May. Um, and but with all the transition things and everything going on, there was just a lot of things to shuffle around to fit on the schedule. But yeah, I think that we get back into that cadence this year, and so next year it should look more familiar to people who've been around for a while.
Now, long term, I know this would still be far out, but how long until you think you guys would be at a point where you'd be open to doing like an expansion comparable to like Victory is Life, Legacy Romulus, like
Oh,
something at that scale?
I know Jack is very like he wants to do something like that. He's very eager to take a big swing like that. And the thing is that you need to have a great concept. Like Victory is Life is a great concept, right?
Yeah.
Playable Gemidar, like that's really compelling. And the get all the DS9 cast together, make this awesome sequence of missions, and super high quality and everything. And so for us, like it really starts with what is the case for it? What is the thing that we think is going to be so compelling that it's worth all that time and effort? And um it's not just the content we make, but also like what sort of things do we want to do to the gameplay of the game that would justify an expansion, right?
Yeah.
Level cap increase, another tier of gear, right? A different type of starship, a new specialization. Like all of these things are things you could do, but it really takes a huge effort, right? And we have to be really confident in that effort to to go there. So I don't think we're there quite yet. Like I think we could be going in that direction. But I will say that just because we only have a couple, I say only, we have a couple seasons that are listed as seasons here. There's some pretty ambitious stuff we have planned,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited for you guys to see what it is. It's way too early to talk about it, but I think people are going to be surprised about what's in, what's coming up, and so. We can talk about kind of blue sky. It'll be great doing an expansion again, but that doesn't mean that we're not being ambitious about what we're actually planning to do this year.
hmm I
Gotcha.
I would add on top of that, Thomas was talking about season 36 and 37 being really exciting. Um, when I was here the first time, there was a thing in particular that I heard you guys asking for, and I would repeatedly bring up in like meetings and stuff to the point where people I'm sure wanted to throw things at me. And I'm very, very excited about what season 36 and 37 are going to be, I guess is what I'll say about that.
Hmm.
Now, before we get to the partnership stuff, there's just a few rapid fire questions, just general game stuff. The servers, that's something that always pops up in conversations. Has there been any updates that you can share there? Because that is still, a pretty common issue for
Uh,
people.
yeah, I mean it's a like it is something that I was in a meeting today and Jack asked about it, and I can say it's something that we are taking really seriously, and I think I leave it there. Like I've said a lot about it, and I'll repeat myself in the sense of it's a death of a thousand cuts, and we just kind of have to keep um, to not to belabor the metaphor, right? We just have to keep putting the ointment on each cut, like one at a time. But I will say that like the art team, for example, a few weeks ago, the team spent like a whole week just fixing errors, like old data validation errors, and those things slow down the server, right? And so we took time, we paused, forward-looking production work and took time to take care of some older They weren't really bugs in the sense of that you guys would notice anything's wrong, but in the back end we have a lot of systems that check like, is this thing named correctly? Is this file hooked up right? And like the more of those things that get
Called on.
get kind of unhooked over time, or more of those errors that show up over time, the slower your servers can get, because it's checking those errors and checking them again and everything. So like even that is a step forward, right? And we just keep doing that, keep plugging away at it. And it's a 16-year-old game, so a lot of that has accumulated over time. But it is something I take very seriously. It's something I took it seriously enough that I pulled people off new development for 2 weeks so that we could make that progress, right? And it's just about that incremental progress. But yeah, that's just something we're gonna keep attacking.
Now this is
I wanted.
oh, good.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add on to that real quick. It just that, it's one of those things that's the hardest to lock down and fix. Probably maybe the hardest problem to lock down and fix, like server performance, because everybody's connecting from different places with different ISPs. It's different maps, different levels of people every day. With some, like bugs and stuff like that, you can be like, if I do this exact thing, every time I'll get this glitch, and then I can figure out how to fix it. But as Thomas said, it's a death of 1,000 cuts. You've got to find every last thing that could be affecting performance, and that's why it's a battle.
Yeah, it's good to see. I'm going to backtrack a moment because I forgot to ask this before. Um, with the Crystalline TFO being remastered a little bit there, something that people always ask for is some of that older content. I know you guys at some point earlier this year had mentioned wanting to look into it. Is there any update you can provide for people there?
Oh, can you repeat that question? I'm sorry, I got distracted by a
Oh,
message.
I can probably take
Yeah,
that
go
one
for it.
then. I would
Go
just
for it.
say, we really respect the older content in the game. We took it out with the intention of bringing it back one day, and we really want to do that. We really, really want to do that. So stay tuned.
Hmm.
I think that pretty much
Yeah, what
is.
he said.
I think that pretty much is everything major that we wanted to cover here today. And a lot of the other questions I would have would just be repeats and things you guys have already answered. So yeah, thank you both for taking the time to come on and chat. It's again, it looks like there's a lot of very positive things heading our way. The past couple of years have left a lot of people uncertain about how the future is going to be, and with what we've seen in the past couple of months, it's been very reassuring about the future. And I think this roadmap, the reaction to it and everything going on in April here, especially, is going to be very well received.
Well,
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
and I guess one last thing is with this roadmap, I think it's going to be pretty successful. Do you anticipate that you're probably going to do similar roadmaps like this in the future?
I always want to do roadmaps. So unless somebody tells me no, and it's like, they started doing this before I got back, so hopefully they'll never tell me no.
Yeah, I think this was Jack's idea, so I feel like we we'll definitely keep doing it if he's the one who wanted to do it.
Again, a huge thanks to Mike and Thomas for taking the time to come on and chat, and thanks to Renee and Brad from the ARC team for arranging all of this. If you'd like to hear more from Thomas, make sure to check out my prior interview with him back in February that covered many popular questions from folks like yourself. But that is it for today. Stay tuned for some more casual content. Part 2 of the Uncon Meta build guide will drop in just a few days, and next week will be my best premium ships video for this year's event campaign. As always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you all around.